Hey guys, welcome back to Premium Picks. It's Friday. Today we're going to give you our post weigh-in reactions and final thoughts and final bets for UFC 297 Strickland versus DuPlessis. Please subscribe. If you're looking for the full breakdowns, look at our previous video. This is strictly our favorite bets for each fight on the card. Full disclosure, the images have the opening odds, but I will be saying what the current odds are as of right now. So first fight of the night, we got Malcolm Gordon coming in at minus 188 now versus Jimmy Flick plus 162. Malcolm Gordon missed weight. If you guys didn't catch that, he did miss weight. Not a good sign. To be honest, I don't like either of these guys. I don't trust either of these guys. What I do kind of like is I like the over 1.5 for minus 115. So I think Gordon wins the fight, but he's minus 188. So I like over 1.5, minus 115, better value. And if Flick catches them in a late submission, so be it. You still hit it. Don't really love anything there, like love per se. What do you think?
Well, I don't love the money line, that's for sure. Now, especially with Malcolm Gordon almost at minus 200, which he's not worth it all. So Malcolm Gordon by KO is plus 210, and Jimmy Flick by submission, which is probably the best bet on the fight, is plus 333. Yeah, man, I think that's his path to victory. Like, he's not knocking out Malcolm Gordon, and he's not winning a decision. So if Flick's going to catch him, it's going to be caught in a submission. Plus 333 seems fair enough for his only win condition.
All right. Next fight of the night, we've got Jasudavicius coming in at now minus 400 versus Priscilla Cachoeira, now coming in at plus 300. For those of you that aren't aware, Cachoeira was way off weight. It's now a catch weight, 133. She was off by 8 pounds. That's a huge red flag. I believe Cachoeira has a history of this. I could be wrong. I don't want to say.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure I saw people saying this fucking cheater. This is not her first time.
Plus 13 pounds was her biggest miss ever. So this is actually better than usual.
8.5 pounds is better than usual. All right. Well, Jazz's line actually got better if you're on the Jazz side, as I was. Obviously, minus 400 is terrible. I would never want to bet minus 400 on a woman's fight. I think her double method, which is decision, submission, minus 250. That's all I can see here. She ain't gonna. I don't think there's gonna be a knockout. So I think she will take her down and maybe finish it, maybe not. But minus 250, submission, decision, Jasmine. That's what I got. What do you see?
There's two possible things. It's Jasmine in the over 1.5 is minus 175. That's not so bad. And Jasmine by submission, because I think that's a very good win condition. This thing will see a lot of ground time, I think, and especially if it goes through and it makes weight, which I guess it will now that Jasmine's a dog. She'll take that fight. So plus 333 again for a Jasmine submission. Totally live. Totally live.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. All right, moving on. We got Johan Lainessse coming in at minus 150 versus Sam Patterson, who is now plus 125. I mean, I really only see two scenarios in this fight. Johan by knockout, which is coming back at plus 130. Or if Patterson can utilize his grappling, maybe he could win by submission. I don't think that's going to happen anyways. Johan KO plus 130. I wouldn't go big on the fight regardless. What do you think?
Johan's a gasser. I'm hoping that because Patterson was such a big favorite in his last fight, he took the time after getting knocked the fuck out, that he comes back stronger and Lioness can be taken down. So plus 333 again for the third submission in a row. There's something weird going on. That's plus 333 three times in a row for a submission. But I like Sam Patterson submission. I think he's actually pretty live here and people aren't giving him a shot. Lioness isn't that good.
No, he's definitely not. It's just I think people think Patterson's chinny now, but we'll find out in this fight.
We'll find out. We'll find out for sure.
Moving on, we've got Jillian Robertson, who has grown to a minus 300. I think that's disgusting. Versus Polyana Viana, now plus 240. Honestly, this fight's just a straight up path. For me, I will not be betting anything here. I mean, obviously, I'm sure a lot of people are on the Robertson submission. Yeah, she might do it. Just the odds are too wide. Don't like it. What do you think?
The submission's only plus 150. Not enough juice on the bone. I need that plus 333 to be honest with you. Robertson should win this fight. I think she actually does win this fight in dominating fashion. So it's hard to bet on women, though. It's hard to bet on women. I do think JJ and Robertson are very parlayable. To be honest with you, they have dominating factors in their fight, and the people they're fighting aren't really good. So, I mean, you can always do that.
All right, there you have it. Moving on, we got Sidsy. These odds have not changed. He's still minus 175 versus Ramon Taveras, plus 150. It's funny because a lot of the forums are now kind of flipping and saying Ramon's actually pretty good and pretty live for the knockout here. They're saying it was kind of a controversial stoppage. And he's a power hitter. So I think the thing here is somebody's going to win quick. I think this is going to be a quick KO. It's going to be a very frantic, high-paced fight. So what I see is I like the under 1.5 at minus 105. Today's minus 175. And people are saying Ramon could starch him really quick. Cover both sides and you got better odds, minus 1.5. That's what I got. I don't know. What do you think?
Was it controversial? Sort of. It might have been. I don't think he was completely out. I watched it again. He did get obliterated on that punch, though. He definitely got floored. He definitely got floored hard. But the problem is that he hit Sidsy a couple times hard in that fight with his power, and nothing happened, to be honest with you. So Sidsy's chin checked out. I do like the KO on both sides, whichever guy you're going with. Plus 225 for Sidsy, plus 300 for Ramon. But the under seems probably like the best bet. But the problem is these guys are the lighter weight classes, right? So it's so hard to pick the under. That's why you're getting such a good number on it.
It's their knockout percentage. If you look at their wins, they're all finishes.
Yeah. I still think Sidsy by knockout is probably the best bet. Ramon, if he's gonna win, it's gonna be by knockout, and he's not a minute winner. Sidsy would win the minutes for sure. So he's definitely winning that fight up until the knockout, those sort of knockout, quote unquote. So we'll go with that.
All right. Moving on, we've got the Canadian Charles Jourdain coming in at now minus 200, and he's going in against Sean Woodson, who's coming in at plus 170 now. I don't know why this fight's kind of giving me cold feet. I think I'm passing, to be honest. I mean, I'll probably make some last-minute bet just to make the fight interesting, but there's nothing that I see here that I like, and I don't want to just throw stuff out for throwing stuff out. Sometimes the best play is to pass. I don't have a strong read here. What do you like?
I like plus 300 on Sean Woodson by decision.
That's why I have cold feet, because I think Woodson's live.
75% of his fights in the UFC have gone to decision. He is a minute winner. He does gas because he does cut a lot of weight to get to this weight class, to be honest with you. But if he's going to win, it's going to be by decision. He's not knocking out Charles Jourdain, and he's not taking down Charles Jourdain and subbing him either. So if you're on the Woodson side, get a little bit more meat on the bone at plus 300. I might stab that. I like it. Anything above plus 300? Yeah.
There you got it. I wouldn't make it a parlay piece.
Oh, no.
All right, moving on. The last prelim of the night, we've got Brad Katona, who has grown to a minus 225, and he is taking on Jarrett Armfield, who's coming back at plus 187. I think two things are standing out here would be the Armfield knockout plus 650, because the majority of his wins are knockouts. A huge chunk of his wins are knockouts. Or the Katona decision, coming back at plus 120. Not great, but he's a minus 225 favorite to plus 120. That's how he always wins. I think it's one or the other here. What do you think?
Katona by decision is a great play, I think. I also think Katona is very live for a submission as well. But Katona over 1.5 is minus 125. So I think that's as well. That's pretty good. So I'm going to go with Katona 1.5 over 1.5. Get you a minus 125. That's pretty much even odds. And that is a parlay piece if you want to do that. I'm pretty sure Katona wins this fight. And I'm pretty sure it goes a little bit later than if this is going to be a sub, it'll be later on in the
Yeah, I mean, even Onama couldn't finish him in the first round. I think Onama's better than Katona, I think.
No. Onama's he's bigger, stronger. I don't know about faster, but Yeah, man. I just think over 1.5 in Katona, just you knock that 225 down to 125. You make it a little bit more playable. You can mix that with maybe Jasmine and Jillian and feel pretty good about the prelims.
All right. That brings us to our main card. Once again, please like and subscribe if you haven't. And first fight of the main card, one of the best fights of the night, we got Arnold Allen, who is now a plus 162, and he's coming in against the undefeated Movsar Evloev, who's coming in at minus 188. I really like both guys, and as the week's gone on, still kind of can't help but think that Movsar will be able to get these takedowns and grind him out in a boring, unpleasant fashion. Arnold Allen has been taken down many, many times. I really hope he's I don't know, sharpened that tool, that sharpened his takedown defense. I hope he has, because if it's on the feet, I definitely favor Arnold Allen. But I just can't help but think that Evloev will grind his way once again. So the Evloev decision, minus 125. It's really not even worth it. Minus 188 to 125. I don't know. I just don't love any of the plays here. What do you like?
I've started to like Evloev a little bit better. Allen's still live, but I think he's only live for like a submission though. Right? So
Yeah, I don't think he's going to submit him in. If
I mean,
Lopes couldn't, I don't think Arnold Allen is.
the knockout he's live for too, because he does punch hard, right, as well. But Arnold Allen there by submission is plus 850. And Arnold Allen by KO is plus 750. I feel
do
like
the KO, man.
yeah, I mean, but if you like the Allen side, I think it's gotta be a finish, because we all know that Evloev is a damn minute winner at best, right? So you're not gonna take this fight goes any sort of length. It's Evloev by decision. Evloev over 1.5, which is minus 143. Any one of those plays are viable as well. So, I mean, it's still a scary fight for Evloev because Arnold Allen punches with power. So I'm gonna probably pass or take the over 2.5, which is juice to the tits, which is where is it? I can't even see it. Fight to go to 370 minus 370. It's probably going over 2.5. So if you want to parlay this shit, because that's the best bet. We're doing a best bet show. My best bet is over 2.5 at minus 370. Very parlayable.
All right. I think you're right 100% that it goes over. I think it goes the distance. I hate that number.
Yeah, but the problem with the distance, I hate getting screwed by the last 2.5 minutes of a fight. So I always take over 2.5 if the distance is only like maybe $20 difference.
Yep. All right, moving on. We've got Chris Curtis, who has grown to a minus 188 favorite, and he is taking on Marc-Andre Barriault, who's coming in at plus 162. As discussed, this is probably going to all be on the feet. Chris Curtis does not get taken down, and so this is going to be a striking bout. Curtis doesn't get knocked out, doesn't get taken down. So there's two scenarios here. Chris Curtis chins Marc-Andre Barriault, and that's coming in at plus 240, kind of like that. Or Marc-Andre Barriault has the volume, and he will win the decision, which is coming back at plus 425. So those are the two props that I like. What do you think?
I think you're right. Those are the two props I like as well for this fight. I don't mind Chris Curtis straight up at minus 188. I do think he wins the fight. But those other two props, probably the best. The over 1.5 is good in this fight because both guys are showing durability. And Chris Curtis doesn't punch hard enough. Doesn't punch enough for me to think he's just going to knock out Marc-Andre Barriault, except it's going to be some sort of like Barriault coming after him and then he knocks him out. So over 1.5 is minus 275. Not a half bad number because most of Chris Curtis's fights, unless the guy is very chinny, gets knocked out. I mean, Barriault's shown toughness in a lot of his fights, aside from the Cheaty fight where he got starched in the first 20 seconds or whatever. But that's another one. It's a little high, and a lot of people just don't like doing that kind of shit. But I like the over 1.5 too.
All right. That brings us to our featured fight, which really does not feel like a featured fight at all to me. But it's because there's the Canadian hometown boy on it. We got Neil Magny coming in at now plus 300 versus Mike Malott, hometown from Toronto, minus 400 favorite. That's too wide. It doesn't make sense. Yes, I think Mike Malott can take him down at will. and I think that he might find that arm triangle or something like that. But the experience gap is too big. It doesn't make sense. You got Magny decision plus 500. If Magny wins, that's how he's going to win. Or you got the Malott submission plus 120. Because there's no way I'm playing the money line. What do you think?
I think the money line is actually fair. I watched a lot of Malott this week, to be honest with you, and the guys that Neil struggles with. The guys what Neil struggles with are guys that are stronger, bigger, can push him around, right? Malott, the guy that Malott struggles with are guys that can knock him out, strike with him. That's not what he's up against, I'll tell you that much. I don't think he'd be scared of anything Magny's going to throw back at him, right? So I do think that the takedown's not going to come till later on in the fight, and that in that first round, he's going to strike with Magny. And if Magny wants to push him up against the cage, I think that's a bad idea because Malott is a lot bigger and a lot stronger than Neil. He'll flip that position and just take him down. I don't even like the Malott by submission. That's only plus 120. There's no meat on the bone there. The knockout, Magny's tough as nails, so I don't know. I don't like a Malott by decision, I'll tell you that much. So I'm kind of torn here. I do like the Malott money line, though. I think he's safe enough that I just don't think he's scared of what's coming back at him. It's a shitty money line, but I like it.
Too young, too strong, too athletic.
It's everything that Neil doesn't like. It's everything that Neil is like up against, like the shit. You know, he's bigger and he's stronger, and it's big. Neil works his way. How does he win those rounds? He uses strength. He pushes guys up. He holds guys on the side of the cage. You think he can hold big old Mike Malott on the side of the cage?
The only way he wins is if Mike gasses. That's the only way he wins because Mike's always round one. Heck, and so that's the only way he wins.
He looked pretty fresh against Fugit in round 2, and he didn't slow down at all in round 1 of all his fights. Because I rewatched that fight where he just floored the Mickey Gall fight. I rewatched the Mickey Gall fight just last night, and Mickey hit him with good shots, right? Well, Mickey's a lot better striker than fucking Neil Magny is. I'm gonna give Mickey Gall some props here, but yeah, I just Malott gets floored when the guy in front of him has the power. Neil Magny does not have the power.
No, definitely not. All right, that brings us to our co-main event. It is for the vacant title. We got Raquel Pennington, who is now plus 140, against Mayra Bueno Silva, who is minus 170. That might even be the same as the opening odds. I'm not sure what the opening odds were there. What stands out to me is Bueno Silva submission, plus 175. She's the opportunistic fighter who finishes fights, and now she's got 5 rounds to do it. She only needs 1 minute. Like 1 moment, sorry, and she ends the fight. I could see her getting beat up for a little bit until she finds that. Or, I know this is going to sound absolutely crazy, but Raquel Pennington knockout is plus 1,600. Now, I know what you're saying. Pennington in all of her fights has 1 knockout in her life. But you know what? It's 5 rounds. And Bueno Silva, the one flaw that we have seen is she gasses. And she's never been 5 rounds. She finished the Holly Holm fight pretty early. So it's not insane to think that, well, maybe she gasses, and Pennington is definitely the better boxer. Maybe she gets a stoppage. I don't think she's going to KO her out cold, but at plus 1,600, might be worth the sprinkle. 5 rounds to do it. If she's going to win via being the better striker over 5 rounds, there's a chance that she can get the stoppage. I don't know. I'm just saying, plus 1,600 is playable to me, and the submission on the other side, plus 175. What do you think?
I think you're right. And Pennington and decision is plus 230. I think that's one of her win conditions, because if this goes to decision, I can't see Mayra Bueno Silva winning a decision, to be honest with you. Like,
exactly.
I rewatched the Holly Holm fight for just to make sure that I had this bet right. And I don't think she was winning that fight until she was winning that fight, to be honest with you. And Holly didn't fight that neck. I'm getting cold feet on Mayra Bueno Silva, to be honest with you. I think Raquel Pennington wins a decision here, a boring ass decision here. But yeah, plus 230 on something she's done 75% of the time. She's not, because the only other time she's finished someone was a submission. She's never knocked anyone out. Neither is Mayra. Right? So Mayra doesn't win decisions. She's an 80% sub finisher with a 20% in the decision. She won one decision. And you're right, she does slow down. She slowed down in that Firo fight, but she is tough as nails. And she took all those punches from Manon, and she was coming right back at her. Mind you, not with any sort of volume or anything like that. But
She didn't fight Manon, did she?
yeah, she did. She lost a decision to Manon.
Okay. I never definitely never seen that fight.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta check now but yeah, I'm almost positive. I'm thinking about the same fight, the right fight, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure she said fight Manon. Let's find out, just for interest's sake. Yeah, Holly Holm, Lena Landsberg, Manon Fiorot. Yep, last unanimous decision. Got outstruck 91 to 48. Yeah, I was right. It's exactly what I was looking at. She did gas. She slowed down, but she was tough. And Raquel Pennington doesn't hit anywhere close to Manon Fiorot, but she does hit with that volume. And over 5 rounds, I think she can win a volume fight if she doesn't get taken down. Now, my would be my top ticket sort of material if she shot more takedowns. But like she only shot takedowns in I think the Lena Landsberg fight. She didn't even shoot takedowns in the Holly Holm fight because that was a ninja choke, right?
Yeah,
So
standing, yeah.
it was a standing ninja choke. So Myra's only landed, yeah, Lena Landsberg, she landed one, and she has not landed another takedown in all of her UFC fights. It was against Lena Landsberg, she landed two. And I lost the over 1.5 because she wanted to actually grapple for once. Because I always am, oh, women's fight over 1.5, right? So and Raquel's got about 65% takedown defense. She should be able. Myra's not a great wrestler. She's a great jiu-jitsu practitioner, great submission artist, and she's opportunistic. She's not going to win minutes on this fight. So if you're betting on her, it's going to be her winning the fight, right? In some sort of like finish capacity. Like you're right against the submission. So because she's not the minute winner, I've actually switched my pick to Raquel Pennington by decision.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, and that brings us to our main event. We've got the champion, Sean Strickland, who is now, dead even line, -110 against Dricus DuPlessis, -110. First of all, if you haven't watched the press conference, watch it. Sean Strickland goes off. He even attacks a reporter to a degree, so you got some comedy there to watch. As far as the fight goes, listen, I caught a lot of flack in the comments on the last video, and I think everyone's going, "You're crazy. Dricus is going to smoke him." Listen, guys, please go back to our last video when Dricus fought Robert Whitaker. I picked Dricus to knock out Robert Whitaker, and all you guys called me fucking crazy. I got so much, "You're nuts. Robert Whitaker is going to kill him." I picked Dricus by knockout. So don't tell me that I don't like Dricus or that I'm crazy. I do like Dricus. I like both of these guys. I like them both. And I actually think, even though Sean Strickland's a decision fighter, I think for him to win this fight, it's going to be inside the distance. I think these guys are both going to strike it out. I think somebody's getting finished, and I can see it happening to either guy. I can see Dricus knocking out Sean early. I can absolutely see that. And I can also see him walking straight into a straight punch and getting dropped himself. The one thing that I know is this will not be a boring Sean Strickland fight like a lot of his have been, because Dricus won't just back up and get jabbed to death. He will march right forward, come straight into it. He's going to make it a fight, and that's what makes it so exciting. We don't really know what's going to happen here. But I do think a knockout for either of them is live, and that brings you to +240. I don't think he's going to submit Sean Strickland. I know a lot of people think that he will use that grappling. I honestly don't think he will. I don't think Sean Strickland is going to grapple Dricus DuPlessis. I don't think Dricus has the gas to go 5 rounds. I know he has shown he can catch a second win later in the fight, but he's never really been 5 either. So I think somebody's getting finished by knockout. So I think whatever side you're on, I think a knockout is the play for me. That's and I like both guys. Guys, I like both guys. What do you think, Adrian?
It's a tough fight. This is like literally your 50-50. But I think I lean slight because of the even odds now. I kind of lean towards Sean. I was leaning towards Dricus. I'm not changing my pick, mind you. Don't get me wrong. I'm leaning towards Sean because that Sean decision at +375 looks so juicy. But are they juicing it up just to get us to just bet on a Sean decision? What you said is completely true. But Dricus says that he's got the better cardio now. He's got the nose surgery, and he can breathe better. And they've questioned this motherfucker about all this stuff in all these press conferences about, oh, you fight with your mouth open, blah blah. He's like, well, I can't breathe out of my nose. What the hell do you want me to do? Like, you know what I mean? So minus 110 on both sides. That's some shit right there. That's crazy. So I'm not parlaying this fight. You guys pick what side you want. I don't have a best bet. I kind of like Sean by decision at plus 375 because Sean's always good for decision. If Drickus is a tough guy, so he might when he slows down, is he going to keep coming forward or is he going to just hang back and try to hit him with that big shot?
I just think he has so much heart and like his pace. Like the reason he gasses too is his pace is ridiculous. Like this guy,
I give him a great shot at this fight, buddy. I give him a great shot at this fight.
No, for sure. But
I just don't think if it gets to a decision, it's not him winning that decision. That's for sure.
No. He's a finisher, and I'm just not sure that he would be content with getting point fighted to death. Like I feel like he's the type that when he loses, he will go out on his shield. He's not just going to back up and eat jabs the whole fight. He's going to go.
No, I see your point of view, and like I take that into consideration for sure. I mean, if you want to play Sean finishing round 3, 4, 5, that's plus 1,200, plus 1,600, plus 2,200, right? That's 3, 4, and 5. You put $10 on each round, right? Either any one of those rounds he finishes, and you win money, and then take a 20 and throw it on Sean Strickland by decision, right?
What's I don't have the odds in front of me here. What's Dricus round 1 and round 2? Because I think if Dricus wins, it's early.
It's plus 600, plus 750, right?
I think if he wins, it's early. The longer it goes, I don't think he's winning.
I just don't think this thing finishes in the first round, to be honest with you, because like
Sean,
I mean, he got caught with that one punch by Alex, and I have all the respect in the world for Alex, but I think it was a lucky punch. Like not lucky in the sense like lucky it connected the way it did. Not lucky in the sense that Alex damn well knew what he's throwing at the time, right? But lucky it made such a good flux like connection on his jaw there, right? So I really think Dricus is most live in round 2 and round 3 for the finish. So I mean Dricus round 2 plus 750, I like it. Dricus round 3 is plus 1,000, I like it. Play all those round props if you really think it's going to finish. I really do. You think you have a good point, but the plus 375 on Sean to wrap it all up. If you take those last 3 rounds, because I do not see Sean, I see Sean doing like a maniacal like beatdown of this guy, not like some sort of. We all know Sean's not a one punch guy, so he's going to finish him later on in the fight. Kind of how Izzy finished Paulo Costa in round 3, just like I thought it would be round 3, 4, 5. You know, you play with your food a little bit, but this time I just think, like you said, Dricus is more than likely going to still come after him after that. So that's what's going to push. Dricus is going to push the pace on this. So Sean's going to have to finish this because he's not going to let him stand at range, right? But still, plus 375 on Sean Strickland for a decision is mighty good coming from the champion side, right? So
yeah,
it's something you got to think about at least.
All right, guys, there you have it. Those are our thoughts. Those are our props that we like for the card. Drop us a comment. What's your favorite prop? Let us know if we're out to lunch and you see something way different. I love hearing other sides and other opinions. And if we missed a certain prop that's huge money, let us know. I love stabbing long shot props too. So if you see something, let us know. And enjoy yourself Saturday night. I know it's not the greatest card, but it's decent, and the main event makes up for it. And we'll see you for the next one, and let's all smash some bets and make some money and have a good night.